Good evening, everyone, and glad you made it with the Zoom difficulties. Welcome to the virtual Ossining Public Library and our virtual potluck cookbook discussion. This is actually our last cookbook discussion of the season, but also for this year. Ashley, I'm sure you're going to talk about this too, but we're working on some events in the fall and a little bit in this, I guess, September, summer, fall. And we're really excited about that. So we'll have more info coming your way. And then in 2 weeks, we have the cooking class, right? So this is Ashley Covelli of Big Flavors from a Tiny Kitchen.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Oh, hi, Cynthia's cat.
Adorable. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
If anybody or any cats have any cookbooks that they would like to share, if you've been to these programs before, you know I'm more than able to talk about cookbooks for an hour, but I love hearing your favorites or your recommendations or anything relating to the theme or just food in general. We're kind of loose with it. But today's theme is picnics, and it's very timely, and I unintentionally on theme took a picnic lunch to Scarborough Park with my husband today because he's off for a couple days, which is nice. So I was like, I'm just really embodying picnics this week. And then, so Tuesday, June 21st at 6 p.m., we're gonna make 2 recipes that I like taking around for picnics. One is a chicken salad with dill. It's got a lot of dill in it. It's very, very tasty. And I like putting kettle chips on top of the sandwich. It's like crunchy, salty. It's kind of crazy, but it's delicious. And we'll also make veggie cream cheese roll-ups that you can customize with whatever you like, but they're like those tortilla roll-ups that you slice and they're little pinwheels. But I guess, does anybody have any dishes that they like, if you're thinking of going on a picnic, there's something that you always want to bring or that you want to eat when you're at a picnic?
Yeah, prior to me moving back to Ossining, I was living in Rowayton, Connecticut. And Rowayton, Connecticut is like this quintessential New England beach town. And it had a beach, and then it also had a park right on the 5 Mile River. And there was such a culture of picnics in Rowayton, as they had a lot of evening events, and everyone, it wasn't so much the food that I'm speaking about, it's like the accoutrements. So everyone had their red flyer wagon or other like pull along the street kind of paraphernalia, and the rollout, and I'm talking about not just like some little cheapy plastic table, but like the rollout LL Bean teak table, you know, that you like wrap around and put around your shoulders. And you know, just the culture of picnics in that town was just amazing. And definitely, I mean, Rowayton was the town where a lot of people probably catered their events, you know, and like it just showed up, like you'd stop at Rowayton Market and get all the parts to it. But there was an intense pressure of having just like grandiose picnics for all these events, which was really, it was kind of fun. So we embraced that for our years there.
I love that. Was there anything like that stood out, like something that you ate at one of those picnics that just really kind of left an impression on you?
You know, a lot of, I remember a lot of things on skewers, you know, like that you could pack like you know, a couple pieces of meat and some vegetables or fruit, like just like a lot of skewer food, you know, and definitely like just things that didn't require, that weren't messy, didn't require a lot of silverware, you know, just definitely like hand kind of foods.
Yeah.
But no, nothing stuck out, except I did tell you the other night, it's like deviled eggs. It's like I always pack deviled eggs, which now covers probably like 4 of our different sessions we've talked about.
Yeah, I'll work a deviled egg anywhere I can. Like,
exactly.
It fits in a lot of places. That reminds me of, I'll put a link in here. They haven't updated their Instagram in like since 2018, but my friend that lives in the Berkshires, there's this thing called, that her friend I think runs, called the Competitive Picnic League, and the pictures on their Instagram, it's so cool. Like people do look kind of like you were saying, like the whole presentation and like the themes. And I think that they had, Oh, look at this. One of their pictures is actually one of the books that I'm going to talk about tonight. That's kind of funny.
Oh, no kidding.
On their Instagram. But yeah, they had like prizes and everything, and it looked like so much fun. We got to get that going in Austin. That would be
Yeah, that would be fun at the riverfront or something. That's
Yeah,
totally
the river-
we've got the scenery.
Yeah.
Although
Sure.
we have to embrace those food trucks though while we're there.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
But to your point about like people picking stuff up from the store, like I don't think there's anything like, oh, how could you get something pre-made? I think just like the art, like enjoying the outdoors, like with whatever you have. If you don't have time, you shouldn't stress yourself out to make something. I think that's cool. What about you?
Part of the fun of the, oh, sorry, Lori, go
No,
ahead.
that's okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, part of the fun of the picnic is not stressing. You're there to de-stress and enjoy and stuff. So don't
Yeah.
stress on the food. Yeah.
There's an artist, her name is Jean Oliver, and she did a little video on packing a French picnic, and it was so cool. It just was really neat. I like cold fried chicken,
Okay.
and you got to have a fresh fruit salad.
Yeah. Now, do you
No
do
sauce
like,
or anything, just fruit.
yeah, I know there's like fruit salads that are just fruit in a bowl, and then there's the ones that have like the yogurt base or whatever kind of mixed
Yeah,
in.
I don't want all that.
Just
The fruit speaks for itself.
I agree. What about you, Mary? Do you have any favorite picnic items or?
I just love a good sandwich. I don't know. I just love like fresh bread, cold cuts. Like I like to do I don't know, like a Mod Podge thing when I've gone out for picnics. You know, bring the cold cuts, and I love cherry tomatoes and celery sticks. I don't know, just something very cool and refreshing, and just just making this nice sandwich and watch and just hanging out by the riverfront. But I'm with Lori, I think, about the fruit salad. I can't have I have to have a picnic with fruit salad. I like to have a picnic with ice cream too, but that probably will melt. But
It's a little,
anything.
it's a little tricky. There are
Yeah.
some of these books talk about like you can get dry ice and all this, and I'm just like, that just seems for me a bit much for a picnic. Like,
Mhm.
but well, there are like on the riverfront here, Bigfoot Creamery when they're open,
Yes.
you know, you could have a picnic and then go grab ice cream and then go back to your picnic spot.
Yeah, I definitely think of it for summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think about a picnic, I think about in the summer we go to Ocean City, Maryland, and my husband's grandparents used to make egg salad for him when they would go to the beach. So he started making, we rent a condo, and he started making egg salad to take to the beach. And the first year we made it, the place we were staying, they had malt vinegar. And so he put some of that in there, and now that's kind of like our thing. We do malt vinegar. And my son says it only tastes good when there's a little bit of sand in it from the beach. So, and I think he's serious. He really, he doesn't mind a little sand in his food.
Just a little grit.
Just a little.
This malt vinegar is very good with fish and chips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or just on
yeah.
the
Vinegar potato chips. Oh,
Yeah, definitely salt and vinegar chips or something. Oh, yum.
so good.
Yeah. Does any of the other folks with the camera off, because I can't see if you have any, if you want to chat, if you want to unmute, feel free. Otherwise, I can start showing you guys some cookbooks. But really feel free to, you can do, there's like a little reactions. You can put like a hand up or you can put it in the chat. But there was a lot of really cute books to choose from. I think cutest and the first one I read for this program, which like, I feel like kind of just sets the tone. This was a great one. It's called The Picnic, and look, recipes and inspiration from basket to blanket. And look at the little like gingham bookmark that's built in. It was just,
Oh, so cute.
I was like, I didn't even notice it at first, and I was using my library checkout receipt as the bookmark, and then I looked and I was like, that's adorable.
That's awesome.
Like they really went the extra step with it. So this book is really, the illustrations are just adorable. It's got a lot of like just fun, like it's very playful. And then so the people who wrote the book founded the Portland Picnic Society, and they are like serious about picnics. Like it is like, no joke. But they have a lot of reference items up front, and then they have recipes in the back. So everything from like, I thought these were cute, pop-up picnic, just like a relaxing, some things to add into a basket. And so they have different themes and the illustrations show each. So like if you want to have a farmer's market picnic, it's like crackers, honeycomb, hazelnuts, local goat cheese, snap peas, chocolate chip cookies, and cherries in your like adorable picnic basket that you definitely own. Like it's just very cute. They have one for like a Greek deli, so like the things that you could just grab to take with you. The French one. And then I think this is interesting. There's a whole picnic party primer, and it's got a chart that shows you like how many guests, how many bites you should have, salads, plates, sweets, and sips. And that's like the different sections of the book. So they recommend like if we were going to have a party, we've got 7 people. So we would fall in the, wait a minute, there's nothing for 7. You can only have a picnic for 2 people, 4 to 6 people, no 3. 8 to 12 or 14 to 20. If you're an odd number, you may not picnic according to this book.
It's really funny. Yeah.
I'll say we'll round up because I feel like we could probably eat. So for 8 to 12, we would need 2 bites, 3 salads, 2 plates, 2 sweets, and 2 sips. But it's just kind of nice to, I mean, to give you like an approximate amount for how much you need for people. They give you tips on like scouting your spot and what you should look for. Like no hidden swamp pits. There's like the topography section. So lush green grass, no hidden swamp pits, free of beehives, ant colonies, and wasp nests, which might sound crazy, but bugs love me. And I've like accidentally sitting on like anthills before. Like I get eaten up all the time. So actually smart to look into that. Scenic views, you know, making sure you're near but not too close to a bathroom, trash and recycle bins. Not within 100 feet of the site should be blaring boom boxes, a large flock of seagulls, a freeway, naked bike ride registrants, or a parked ice cream truck playing a jingle on loop. So it's just like they mix in like some serious with some kind of funny. They talk about like how to buy blankets and what to look for and different types of totes and storage containers. There's Cynthia's radio flyer stacked up. They're saying like if you're gonna bring one of these big, what are these called? The drink dispensers, that you probably want to bring a wagon so that it would get a little heavy otherwise. And then there's an entire spread for 99 ways and counting to use a mason jar. And some of these were really, I think they're kind of fun, but like using them as a blanket weight or a balloon weight to hold napkins, scorecard holder, ice cream dish, firefly catcher, pickle jar, jelly jar, small hat. I don't know. Some of them are a little odd, but there's a matchbox with a sandpaper lined lid. I thought was smart, especially if you want to do like candles or something outside at your picnic. So the beginning's got a whole bunch of stuff. It also has common rules for some lawn games, if you want to include any of those in your picnic, just for like a quick reference. For badminton, capture the flag, I don't know how to pronounce this first one, Petanque, and bocce. I guess they're like the same thing, just a different language. Croquet and cornhole. And then there's like a definitive packing list for what's essential and what's extra that you should put in your picnic basket. I love I think the illustrations are so fun. It's just a very whimsical book, which I think is kind of nice for picnics. And the first recipe in here, Cynthia, is the essential deviled egg. And it gives you an easy way to turn it into an egg salad if you want to make your own mayo and an aioli variation. And then throughout the book, there are spreads like this. I think it's so cute. So you've got the deviled dozen, 12 different ways to kind of dress up your deviled eggs. So like the BLT, it just tells you what to add into the filling and the garnish off of their base recipe. The Old Bay one has minced celery, red onion, Old Bay seasoning, lemon zest, and a little bay shrimp up on top. It is like adorable. They've got smoked salmon and dill, curry in a hurry, chorizo a go-go. So like they really have fun with the different decorations and everything. So yeah, there's the bites section. There's a spread on I love a cheese board, but sometimes in the summer sun it's a little iffy. But they have a whole set of tips on how to choose cheeses for an outdoor cheese board, or if you're doing meats. Although building a beautiful charcuterie board, it says plan on 3 slices per person. I don't know these people that only eat 3 slices of one type of meat on a cheese board, but I'm sure they exist somewhere.
Not in your house.
No, definitely not. Oysters, if you want to brave doing oysters on a picnic, they show you with an illustrated guide how to shuck an oyster sans bodily harm, which I think is the reason I've never tried doing it before, but the guide is it looks pretty thorough. Have any of you shucked oysters?
No, there's people who do that for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them, so
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like them either.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
the texture thing, I think.
Yeah, I'm one of the
Mhm,
weirdos who actually like choose it too, which makes the texture even weirder for people who don't like it, but I enjoy.
I like oysters too, Ashley.
Yeah, well, we should have an oyster picnic, I think, and have somebody come to shuck them for us. My father-in-law did, when he, like several years ago, he didn't have the towel placed right, and he just went in and he like severed like something pretty big. It was, I think, probably one of the reasons I'm afraid to do it. But so some of the bites are sweet and some are savory. They've got like savory rosemary pecan sandies. And it tells you, in addition to the recipe to make, it tells you what to bring in the basket. So after you make this recipe, in the basket, marmalade and a tiny spoon. And then there's a bunch of different sets of menus, which a lot of these cookbooks have, but like, so this menu is for a flamenco feast. And so they reference like, there's the chorizo a go-go deviled eggs, ripe figs with feta and honey, melon gazpacho, rainbow carrots with smoky paprika vinaigrette, tortilla española with fava beans and romesco, which, did anybody go to the Tarrytown Street Fair last weekend? They were making the biggest paella I've ever seen in my life. It was like huge. And my son loves paella, so we didn't get any though. It was like, but they had that the tortilla that looks, it's like layers of potatoes and cream and cheese maybe.
What do they call that? Is that like a Spanish tortilla? Is it? It's
Yeah, tortilla española. This one is with
It's-
fava beans and romesco.
It's traditionally the potatoes. You can put onion and peppers in. You can kind of put different things in, but traditionally potatoes, like really sliced in, oil, and then the egg thing, and hot or cold, to eat it hot or cold in a sandwich. It's perfect picnic stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the books mention it, and they have you like kind of like wrap up the wedges, because I guess once it's cooled off, it's easy to cut and kind of hold form. The internet says Spanish tortilla recipe served at room temperature. Yeah,
It's a great tapas, or people eat it as a meal, or it's great.
That's my son made that for Mother's Day, and I was questioning why it was called a tortilla, but it was totally delicious. I don't know if we can see this. I don't know how to do this. How do you
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah,
see that?
right there. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
amazing.
Well done. Yeah.
And it was absolutely yummy. And I was, the best part about was the leftovers.
Yeah, when it's cold
Like,
later too.
Cut
Yeah.
a sliver, eat a little bit, cut a
And
sliver.
you don't have to do the work of, I mean, he made it, but you don't have to do the work of making it when you have, like, that's my favorite part of leftovers. You have the good food without the work or the cleanup or the prep.
Just eat. Just enjoy the.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that menu also has the hazelnut orange picnic cakes and sour cherry sangria. So there's, throughout the book, there's just a bunch. Omaikaze I thought was fun. It's got like some different Japanese recipes, which these 34, these chocolate dipped matcha shortbreads look so good. I I mean, it's a drawing, but it it looks good from the drawing to me. I realized that sounded kind of funny. But like the idea of a matcha shortbread sounds really good to me because matcha is so like kind of smooth. And so this one in the basket, it tells you to bring a cookie platter or tall mason jars for serving, because that's how you serve cookies at a picnic.
And
Yeah. Right.
oh,
Yeah, no, go ahead. Then there's a salad section, and they talk about kind of the order of packing if you're going to do like mason jar salads. They have some fun combinations. There's Japanese, Italian, and Greek. And then there's a fruit, they have a trio of fruit salad. So they have a couple different ways of serving, either in jars or one of these has watermelon feta and black olives. One is peaches, burrata, and basil, which sounds outrageous. And then cherries, pistachio, and mint. So some kind of fun combinations. But overall, this book it was so cute. They have some really fun ideas. There's salads on a stick with different combinations, and prepping these ahead of time and then just packing them up with you is a great idea. So like a Greek salad on a stick is cucumber, cherry tomato, feta, Kalamata olive, and a sliver of red onion that you anchor together. There's a Cobb salad on a stick. I thought some fun, like a Waldorf where you fill the celery and then you put the grape and the apple on top of it. I thought that was kind of fun. Some of those might be fun for your tiki party, Cynthia.
could be.
Little like salad sticks. The other menu name that I thought was super cute was Mezepalooza, with all the like Middle Eastern things on the menu. So they've got Greek salad on a stick, shocking pink beet hummus, watermelon feta and black olives, za'atar lamb meatball pitas, which just sounds like so good to me, brick roasted chicken with zucchini and apricot couscous, pistachio pomegranate soda floats, and triple mint tea. So lots of this book I just thought was really fun. They've got a lot of dishes from all over the world and kind of various levels of prep. Like some of them seem a little more labor intensive than others. And then there's a whole section on desserts and drinks at the end. They have one is like dueling French picnics. So you have the menu, picnic in Provence or under the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, this book, I got it from the Ossining Library. It belongs to New Rochelle, but if you go on, I'll return it tomorrow. But if you go on the Westchester, or the Ossining Library website or the Westchester Library System site, you can search for it and you can put it on hold and have them deliver it to Ossining, which is, that was Mary that asked, you know that. I wasn't sure who asked that in the chat. It's really cute. There's just, I don't know, I feel like you have to be happy when you're looking at this, even if you're not eating the things. And worth mentioning, they have a whole basics of brewing tea section. And they talk about the different types of teas and 6 different simple syrups that you could add either to cocktails or to teas or tea cocktails if you wanted, I suppose. So really, really cute cookbook. The bookmark alone, I don't know, I thought it was kind of worth it.
Ashley, that muffaletta that you ordered would be great for a picnic.
It would. So if you've ever had a muffaletta, I don't remember how to say it. It's was originated in New Orleans. It's this giant sandwich with a lot of different Italian cured meats and this it's like an marinated olive salad. I had it at the place that originated it in New Orleans called is it Central Grocery, I think. I found them on Goldbelly. You can have it delivered. So I got it for Valentine's Day because my husband and son like Italian meats and cheeses. So I had one delivered and they're huge and you cut them in these big wedges and they're just like they're kind of better the next day because the olive salad kind of soaks into the bread. It's really good. But yes, that would be great on a picnic. Did anybody else have a book that they wanted to share before I hop in? I bet Mary does. Do you have one?
No, well, I mean, the thing that comes to me, I love I think I might have mentioned this. I love Susan Branch. Did I ever mention this?
I think sounds familiar.
I feel like I mentioned this. Well, she does different books on different seasons and
Oh,
things
nice.
like that. And so she did a book on it's called Summer. So it's like I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So, but I really love it because it's got tips. I'll see if I could find, I found it in the Amazon version, but it's called the Summer book and it's got great recipes. And oh, maybe like another staple I would like at a picnic is like pie, like blueberry or
Yeah. I mean, what isn't pie called for? Or like hand
well, it could
pie.
be any season actually.
And hand pies would make them like a little more easily portable, you know?
Yeah, they do the mini pies or things like that. But you know, like we're very lucky here that we have a lot of farmers markets and everything. And my friend was saying, oh, you know, you could totally do a picnic. You just go to the farmers market, there's so many amazing vendors, local vendors and local businesses, and you just get the food and then you just go to the waterfront. There's your picnic. You know,
Yeah.
they have like, we're really, really fortunate. But one of my favorite books is Susan Branch Summer, and she handwrites everything and does watercolor. So it's got the cute factor, like what you just shared.
Yeah.
You know, which I really love. And it has the ribbon bookmark too, but it's not as cute as the picnic.
The gingham.
So-
There's a face on it.
yeah, but and there's like different drinks and like, because I think, you know, like I mean, what's a picnic without a nice little spritz or something, like
Mhm.
some nice drink or something.
Yeah, I got a watermelon mint lemonade from the Tarrytown Street Fair over the weekend, and it was delicious, but it was not cold because of where they were positioned with the sun. So I like drank some of it and it was good, but I took it home and I just added a bunch of ice and it was exponentially better. But I feel like watermelon is such a great,
Oh yeah, watermelons, and I love watermelon with feta
yeah.
and mint or like a
A
basil
little
or
bit of
something.
red
It's
onion or
so
something.
good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or have you ever sprinkled it with a little tahine, that like chili lime seasoning?
No,
Yeah.
what's tahine? I never heard of that.
It's a Mexican. It's like usually either in the spice aisle or in the Mexican.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that.
Red
That sounds
powder.
good.
It's great on mango. It's great on cucumber. Just like sprinkled on, just to like give it a little.
Ooh.
Little spice.
I never heard of that. That sounds yummy.
Little chili.
Yeah, it's got like a little bit of heat, but nothing crazy.
Oh, okay.
I have one recipe using it.
Oh,
Let's see.
tahine? How do you spell? I'll have to.
Tajain.
Oh, I never heard of that before. Interesting.
So I have this recipe is awesome for the summer, and you can make it with or without tequila
Oh.
and mezcal. But I put that on the rim of it. It's
Oh.
really nice. It just gives it like a little.
Oh, I
That's-
never
that's
heard
a
of
good
this
idea.
Yeah.
I like that, putting it on the rim.
Yeah. But it would be great because I think it pairs really nicely with fruit or with like
before.
it works really well with like cucumber or like jicama. Yeah.
That
Also,
sounds so good.
Trader Joe's makes a chili lime seasoning that's like
Yeah.
pretty comparable. It's like similar to that.
I use that. I use the chili lime. I've done it in my popcorn. I've done it in ice cream, and I made
Interesting.
coconut mango chili lime ice cream.
Yeah. You make ice creams though. I love your ice cream adventures.
Yeah, so it's like you get the sweet heat, or like, you know, at the Peekskill waterfront, the Hudson Creamery, there was a Thai coconut ice cream. That ice cream, I still think about it because you got the coconut ice cream and then you get peanuts for the crunch, and then you get the heat of like a chili. So it's like, but it's not too much of a heat because you have the coconut, because like, you know, milk, like a cream base actually brings down the heat. Water doesn't bring down heat. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
That's exciting. What a cool flavor.
Yeah. I know there's so many really interesting flavor combinations between them and Blue Pig over in Croton. Like I love.
Yeah, so good, so yummy.
Let's see. Well, since this book was a picture on the feed of the Instagram Picnic Society I showed you, this one's called A Year of Picnics. And this book, I was kind of surprised. Well, the author's first name is Ashley, which is, I mean, just a great name. It was really interesting because she's got 20 different picnic themes, and she divides the book as spring and summer. and then fall and winter. So you've got like your two kind of sets of picnics. And she's really big into like all of the senses, like engaging all of your senses, not just picking the food around a theme, but like really kind of seeking out the experience and like living in the moment of the picnic, which I thought was like, at first I was like, I don't know about all this, but the more I read, I was like, this is actually really nice. So some of the themes, I'll tell you some of the themes, and then if there's one that you want me to like flip to, and we can like talk about what she recommends, because in each one she gives you an intro and like how she kind of came up with the idea or whatever. But she talks about how to select your site, how to work on the menu, like if there's any sort of like games, like she's big on kind of including games and stuff like that, which I love because I'm a big game dork. Like I love things like that. But so the themes are for spring and summer: breakfast picnic, a bird watching picnic, table to farm picnic, into the woods picnic, children's picnic, waterside picnic, lunch break picnic, sacred tree picnic, ephemerals picnic, afternoon tea picnic, romantic picnic, and movie night picnic. Did any of those jump out to anybody? Because I can.
The tea.
The tea. So let's see. That is.
Yeah, I love tea. I'm with you on the tea one.
So if you flip to there, it always like kind of starts with this
Oh.
photo and an overview, and she talks about like on this one she talks about the English tradition of afternoon tea and what she did as a kid with tea parties, and she says taking afternoon tea in picnic form removes a bit of the fussiness of indoor dining. The wind blows where it pleases, the ants crawl where they wish, all the better for tea, I say. Put out your spread, pour yourself and your guest a spot of tea, sit back and relax. Spirits will be invigorated, physical needs will be met, and the time in between meals will feel like a gift, not a burden. And so then inside she's got different suggested activities, and like to make and do is the one set where it's select a site, the different games, and then if you want to dress up, she gives you tips on that. And then the other section is to behold and explore. So she talks about tea leaf reading, tea identification, and then it moves on to savor and sip. And then she gives you recipe recommendations. So for this one, and I thought these were so cute. Wait, let me see if there's a bigger picture of this. I think there is. These curried egg salad cucumber cups.
Yum.
They're bigger. No. All right, this is the picture, but it's like stuffed inside the little cucumbers. I thought that was really cute.
Oh, I like those.
And
Yeah.
That's pretty.
If you're ever trying to get that stripe, you just take on your cucumber, because I do this sometimes. I have a falafel spiced cucumber bite that I make. You just shave a strip down lengthwise on your cucumber, and then you turn it a little bit so you skip a little, and then you shave instead of peeling the whole thing. And then when you cut it, you get those cute little stripies. You can also use like a fork, like the tines of the fork, to kind of scrape down it. It makes like thinner little crinkles on there. But so yeah, the curried egg salad cucumber cups, smoked salmon and herb finger sandwiches. And I mean, finger sandwiches are like tea. Like I feel like you have to have a finger sandwich for a tea. Cordon bleu crostini sounded really good to me. I don't think she has a picture of that one, which I'm curious, but it's crostini rounds topped with roasted chicken, Emmentaler cheese, and country ham crumbles. And then she's got hazelnut and nutmeg scones with raspberry curd.
Oh man, that sounds good.
And rosemary lemon bars that lemon bars are.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, I love lemon pie bars and everything
Yeah.
too for like
Joy-
picnics or summer goodies.
It's so good in the summer. And Joy the Baker's lemon bar recipe is like my favorite. It's so good and it's really easy. Anybody, I can look that up and show you. See, Joy the Baker.
I love anything with lemon. I feel like it's so refreshing, especially in the summertime. My friend used to make this, I don't know what it's called, but she put vodka in it. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, it's to keep, it was like a lemon limeade slushy kind of thing. Or there's gremolata, maybe that's the word.
Oh yeah. Where you
Maybe
like kind
that's
of,
the word.
is that
Yeah.
the one you like scrape? No, that's a granita.
Or something like icy or something, and then you keep it in the phrase. It's sort of like a sorbet, but more iced or something. Oh, it's so refreshing. Like when it's super hot.
I think that's a granita. That's the one where you like kind of let it freeze a little, and then you
I think
scrape
you're
it,
right.
and you let it freeze a little more, and then you scrape it. It kind of makes it a little fluffy.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a mix between like an Italian ice and I don't know, but it's very refreshing, not too sweet. So
Yeah, I love stuff like that. Like just
Mm.
interesting. I think like too just changing the texture, because like if you had that in a popsicle form, it would be good, but it's totally different if it's like flaked and fluffy.
Right.
So then the winter and fall picnics, she's got falling leaves picnic, high altitude picnic, coffee. That is a very loud car. I don't know if that came through, but that was very loud.
I heard it.
Okay. It's funny. Sometimes I'm in a Zoom meeting with a friend of mine who lives down the street from me, and I'll hear it, and then I can hear it on her computer, like
That's
later. Tailgate picnic, rooftop picnic, around the world picnic, twilight picnic, and winter picnic. And I thought the coffee break one was really nice. The coffee break one and then the bird watching one both were really interesting. So the coffee break one, she's talking about, well, here's the spread, the opening spread. Doesn't look like my coffee breaks, but I think I feel like I need to like change that. She talks about whether you work from home now, as I do, or you clock in elsewhere for the day. A coffee break, I've come to believe, is a wonderful way of recharging. It needn't be long, but it should be deliberate. Above all else, it should be delicious. We are sensory beings, and breaking up long stretches of time can be significantly expedited by fully engaging our senses. A coffee break picnic provides the opportunity to take in a new setting visually, enables you to move and stimulate your body and breath, ignites your taste buds, and enlivens your olfactory system. Fragrant, aromatic, beautiful, and tactile, let this be your coffee break mantra. It won't change your job, but it'll change your attitude, guaranteed. So I just love that, like, the things she talks about doing are like deep breathing exercises and stretches, and she talks about like moving your lower body, because depending on what you do for work, if you're like sitting a lot, you really like trying to move your lower body can be helpful. And she gives you ideas of things you can do, like foreign numbers. Sees the opportunity to learn numbers in foreign language, create flashcards, and it's just like a little thing that you can do to kind of like spend a couple minutes, learn something new, like kind of stimulate your mind outside of your normal everyday thing. The deep breathing is nice. And then the recipes on this one, pistachio, apricot, and fennel biscotti just sound delicious.
That sounds good.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Orangettes, the little chocolate dipped.
Oh, I love that.
That would be good in an ice cream, Mary.
Giving me ideas.
better,
Maybe I gotta
yeah.
make that.
Those are great.
She's got a section on flavored coffee.
Ashley, go back to the tailgating, because that's really fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Totally different. Like I was thinking when picnics are like only about nice weather, but
That's a little autumn tailgating for her spread.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that one,
you have to get out your Yetis.
yeah, right. For selecting a site, what defines an ideal tailgate picnic site is entirely up to your interest. If sports are your thing, then a parking lot picnic is the way to go. If scenic vistas are your passion, then seek out a quiet country road, national or historic byway, or glorious roadside overlook. And she talks about like grow trees. Oh, at your tailgating site, see if you can find a few either acorns or something to implant, like actually making a memory from your tailgating outdoors experience. Autumn equinox, she says, consider having this picnic on the autumnal equinox in late September. On that day, the sun will rise exactly due east and set precisely due west, just 1 of 2 times a year for such an occurrence. It's also typically a time of year riddled with crisp, cool days, ideal for taking a scenic drive or enjoying a football game, whatever your preference dictates. But like, just some cozy fall vibes, which I thought was interesting for tailgating, because I always kind of think of summer for tailgating. But there's her tailgating recipe and recommendations: twice baked potatoes, cheesy roasted broccoli, all beef chili, and these, which look really good, mason jar apple cardamom crumbles baked in mason jars. Yeah.
It's funny because I was going to bring this up before you got this book out, was that I'm kind of a freak. I don't like the hot weather. So I prefer an autumn picnic. And
Mhm.
to get all of your senses in there, if you can get near a cornfield that's all dried out but hasn't been harvested yet, and there's a breeze going, hearing that in the cornfield is so cool.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
being somewhere where you can hear the dried leaves blowing on the ground, and it's really cool. And I was thinking an apple dumpling would be good.
Ooh, yeah.
Lori, how would you package that to travel? To
You could put it in a mason jar, I would think, maybe. Or just any kind of container with a lid.
Yeah, I know there are some, like I had for my son's lunchbox, it's got one section that's a removable little thermos that you can, put hot water in it and let it sit for a few minutes, then dump it out and dry it out. And then you can put something in there that'll like help if you want it warm, it would help keep it warm for a little bit.
Because like we have a festival in my area, the Johnny Appleseed Festival, and their apple dumplings usually come in like a styrofoam container so that you can walk around with it and eat it.
like a Cinnabon.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought, I was like, this just seems like a weird theme, but after reading it, I was like kind of into it. This is the bird watching picnic. And some of her, she's just talking about how she got into birds when she was younger, but talking about you can do sketches of birds. So it's like whether you're a third generation birding enthusiast like my talented friend, blah, blah, blah. Bring along some paints and pens and a sketchbook and do your best to render images of the birds you see. Then you'll have a keepsake of the occasion long after the day has passed. And she talks about journaling and making notes of different colors and stuff. Or
as the bird stays so still so that you can.
Oh yeah,
right. Unless it's roadkill.
Like trying to take a non-blurry picture of a toddler, like it just doesn't have it. But like the idea I thought was nice, like bird watching with if consider investing in a decent pair of binoculars, either new or used. Just trying to look at just like changing your perspective.
Okay.
Looking at. I thought it was.
This isn't bird watching, but people do what they call urban sketching, where they just go somewhere and sketch the surroundings, and that would be a really cool thing to do combined with a picnic.
Yeah,
if you're artistic.
Even if you're not, then you could practice and maybe you would get there.
And you can get a good laugh if it doesn't turn out so good.
Exactly. It would be like nailed it, right?
Exactly.
And then her bird picnic, the theme, she tried to do things that are like kind of bird inspired for recipes. So pickled eggs. It wouldn't be proper to have a bird inspired picnic without an egg focused dish. So she's got some pickled eggs. Carbonara nests.
Funny.
So the
seems wrong. It's
yeah. Yeah, right. Well, it's like
there you go with the cold fried chicken.
Yes. And then birdseed cookies. She said, every December I host a cookie exchange at my home. Several years ago, my friend Rachel's contribution was what she called birdseed cookies. This is my homage to both her cookies and the mix of nuts and seeds and birdseed blends. Though it may be for the birds, it's amazingly tasty for the human set too. And it's got rolled oats, millet, nutmeg, peanuts, raisins, sunflower seeds. Sounds pretty good. But so this is interesting. She talks about like picnics just for kids and like trying to plan one that even though kids can go on any picnic, like really plan it for them and just kind of like it'll be like a nice memorable thing for them.
Are they going to have concerts at the waterfront this year?
That's a good question. I would
think so. Yeah, the Friday night concerts. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure the dates or like when it starts or whatever, but I think so. Yeah.
Doesn't it usually start like maybe around 4th of July or?
Yeah, like I would say yes, like right after school is ending.
Yeah.
So that book was I thought it was cute. It's got some like interesting ideas, and we have 9 minutes left, so I'll go kind of quickly. I know I could linger on these books. I love like absorbing them. They're just so interesting. I feel like every month we have an America's Test Kitchen book. They're just awesome. So this one is the complete summer cookbook. Beat the heat with 500 recipes that make the most of summer's bounty. And this book, They have top tips for cooking in the summer. So just kind of talking about how to not use your stove and your oven as much. They give, and it's just like a very concise, like 10 tips. Each one's a couple sentences long. Like the headlines of some of them, like step away from the stove, and then they give you tips on different, recipes to make, making things ahead, taking it outside, make meze your meal. So, try putting together smaller dishes and shareable plates. And then of course they have a section on that. Try cold and frozen treats. Number 4 is it's okay to buy a cooked chicken. And I think that's like so important because people think you have to make everything yourself. Like you can, but like also honestly, like the price of a whole chicken sometimes, especially if you want an organic one, it's not really saving you much to buy it and then cook it yourself. So if you find a place that makes one that you like the seasoning, like
Yeah, a good roasted chicken. There's so much you can do with that.
yeah. And then there's a section on tips for storing produce, and I just love all the colors. Like this just screams summer picnics to me. But it tells you which things are best in the pantry, on the counter, in the front of the fridge, because the temperatures tend to be higher in the front of your refrigerator, anywhere in the fridge. So ones that it doesn't really matter where, and in the crisper drawer. What I thought was interesting, anywhere in the fridge, one of the things was apples. Well, it's asparagus, apples, cherries, and grapes. I thought that was kind of interesting. It says these items are not prone to chilling injury and can be stored anywhere in the fridge, including its coldest zone, provided the temperature doesn't freeze them. And I know a book we talked about, well, we just talked about it. I didn't get it for one of these, but it's called Fridge Love. There's a lot of tips in there on storing. I got Diana into that book too. That's a good one.
Slow.
I love that book. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
And then there's a whole section on different summertime menus. So there's different themes and the amount of people that they serve. And there's a ton of different options. Like if you want to just pick one of the themes and do a whole meal. So there's like a garden party, dinner on the patio for 8, summer dinner for 6, make a head dinner party for 8, kebabs on the grill, backyard barbecue for a crowd, Taco Tuesday, canning party, 4th of July cookout, no cook light dinner, which is kind of nice. So it gives you recipes that you don't need to cook to heat up your kitchen. Picnic in the park. There's lots of great stuff. They always are very thorough with like the equipment recommendations, and they have pictures of everything. And once you get to the different sections of recipes, so like the first section is small bites, they're color coded. So each recipe, when you flip to it, has the little color coded bars underneath to let you know if they are fast, 30 minutes or less total time, if they're no cook, and if they're good to be made ahead. So they show the icons here with the little colors, and then they're also in the recipes underneath. So they're like, they like cross those.
Make it so simple for you, don't they?
I mean, and like the recipes look really, really good. They have a whole section on summer cheese boards also. They have a bit about crudité, which that's like, to me, I love like veggies and dip when I'm at a picnic. But the recipes are awesome. They have, when they have things like Peruvian fish ceviche with radishes and orange, there's a section, notes from the test kitchen, on how to buy the freshest fish and the things that you should look for. So for that, clean smell, and then it describes a little more shiny surface, firm texture, and then advice. It's like, ask your fishmonger what's the freshest that day, even if it's not what you originally had in mind. Ceviche works with many different variations. So they do a lot of great like little bonus tips. So like this one with smoked salmon, it gives you a little tip box to tell you the Nova Scotia salmon and lox are all generic terms for cold smoked salmon, which is mostly what you find in the grocery store. And then it says that gravlax is not to be confused with lox. It's salmon that's been cured under pressure. So they just like really, like any questions you might have, they really address them. I thought those were really pretty with the smoked salmon, little rolls, sleeves. What's that supposed to be? Smoked salmon rolls. It's got cream cheese, sour cream, lemon juice, shallots, capers, dill or chives. So, yeah. So I mean, there are a ton of recipes in here.
500.
Yeah, I wonder how many it is. I don't think it tells me exactly how many it is, but the sections are small bites, dinner-sized salads, burgers, sandwiches, and tacos, mains inspired by the farmer's market, keep cool with countertop cooking, dinner off the grill, picnic table favorites, summertime sips, seasonal sides, preserve the season, summer fruit desserts, and icebox and frozen sweets. So, I mean, there's literally everything in here. Like, and if you get into the section on like preserving, they give you a whole overview of the things that you need if you want to do home canning and preserving. I don't have room to, otherwise I would. But very thorough research. There's a canning step-by-step, really walks you through it all. So this is an awesome book. I marked a lot of recipes that I would like to try out of here. I don't know when I will get to them all. And then honorable mention, and I'll just quickly cover it. This is called Feast by Firelight, and it's camping recipes, because camping and picnicking, like, they're kind of similar. So aside from the fact that they have really great recipes in here, there's some interesting notes about tips for outdoor cooking, the essential outdoor kitchen, and they talk about what types of tools and servingware, pots and pans, storage items that you need if you want to cook out at a campsite. And there's a great section on how to pack your cooler, and it tells you like tips on choosing a cooler, the type and size of ice that you should use, where you should pack heavier items, like layering. It's very, maybe not stuff you would necessarily think of otherwise. And talks about packing your pantry. Just lots of fun stuff. And then they have a whole section on how to build a campfire, what to look for with the wood, how to fuel a camp stove and lighting a charcoal grill. Like, it's very thorough for that stuff. And then there's, before you go, it talks about all these different homemade kind of like condiments. So like best ketchup on earth, whole grain mustard, zesty za'atar olive oil dip, and then like snack bars. There's all sorts of recipes. Zesty praline bacon. I mean, that's just a picture of bacon, but I mean,
Everything tastes great when it's cooked outside.
it's true.
That's true.
I agree. Yeah, definitely better. Yeah.
Smoky Marys with charred pepperoncini. So like a little smoky cocktail situation.
Wow.
Right, camping brunch. Piggies in pajamas.
That's cute.
So yeah, this book I thought was really fun. It had a lot of interesting things. Obviously, there's tons of books. You can find them at the library. And our next, so 2 weeks
The
from
21st, right?
yeah, the 21st at 6 is our cooking class. And then in September on the 17th, I'm going to be at the farmer's market with the library
Yes.
doing a quick demo and kind of getting some audience participation. Our theme, so we're going to continue in the fall with having a theme every month, but we're only going to do the cooking classes for now. But the theme in September is Eat the Rainbow. It's like farmers
The
market.
rainbow.
Farmers market is perfect for that.
Farmers market, yeah. So we're gonna like look at the different produce that's available there and come up with something fun. October is National Cookbook Month, so I'm thinking like we could literally make anything for the cooking class that month. But if anybody has any cookbooks in particular that they would like to cook a recipe from, like open to suggestions. It just has to be doable in an hour or less, which is where it gets a little tricky. November soups and stews, and then December cookies. So we've got lots of fun stuff
Yeah,
coming
good
up.
lineup. Mhm.
Yeah, and
Exciting.
if there's other types of food centric programming that you would be interested in, let us know. We've enjoyed doing the cookbook discussions, but sometimes it's hard for people to commit sometimes, and I know sometimes people are shy and yeah.
So we're gonna
If anyone
go
wants
with
to
the
talk about
cooking. Yeah.
cookbooks with me, feel free to message
Yeah.
me. I'm happy to chat.
I was going to say, Ashley, I need to talk to you after this.
Yeah.
There was a section in one of those books that I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me just say thank you everybody for coming, and
Thank you.
hopefully we'll
Thank
see you in
you.
2 weeks at 6 o'clock, and hopefully I'll get the Zoom link correct that time. So Have a great rest of the week and enjoy your cooking and food and have a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,